The information you need relating to the sport you love, all within 5 minutes. NASCAR in 5 starts right now. Hello everyone and welcome to NASCAR in 5 NCATS edition. I'm your host Bryce Turner. This weekend it's time for the series' one and only stop in the Maritimes at Riverside International Speedway in Nova Scotia. Coming up on today's show, the latest schedule will get you set for race weekend. Plus, Erik Tomas, host of Raceline Radio, joins me. In part 1 of our interview, Erik's thoughts on the season thus far and drivers to watch for. That's coming up, but first a look at the latest standings. LP Dumoulin continues to lead in the standings. With a win last weekend, his lead is stretched to 26 points over J.R. Fitzpatrick. Andrew Ranger is in third, 30 points back. Jason Hathaway and Scott Steckley round out the top 5. The Wilson Equipment 300 from Riverside International Speedway will take place tomorrow. The race will start at about 8 p.m. Qualifying will be held at 4:40 in the afternoon, and TSN will air the race on August 23rd at 2:30 p.m., all times Eastern. 15 drivers are on the entry list. For the full list, visit NASCARHometracks.com. The information you need relating to the sport you love has been provided, all within 5 minutes. However, with bonus coverage through my interview with Erik Tomas, today's edition is longer than 5 minutes, but you won't want to miss the interview, so stay tuned. Erik Tomas is next on NASCAR 5. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at BryceT24. Check out post-race NASCAR coverage at carnuts.ca. If you're looking for pre-race NASCAR coverage, be sure to tune into my YouTube channel, and you can also visit my website, bryceturner.wix.com/home. Joining me now is Erik Tomas, host of Raceline Radio, and Alex Tagliani's PR person. What are your thoughts on the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series season thus far? Has anything surprised you?
Not really. I mean, going back, and Bryce, just to maybe backtrack a little bit here for those who don't know, is that long before this series became the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, it was CASCAR, the Canadian Association for Stock Car Automobile Racing, and my roots specifically hands-on with the series go right back to the very, very beginning when Tony Novotny first founded this series. And one thing that became clear as we did the first 6 years of their existence for television for TSN is the fact that it didn't seem to matter, Bryce, what series or season we were in terms of how many years in or whatever season it was. As we get into, I think now the 7th year under the NASCAR banner, the series was always extremely competitive to the point of being predictably rugged to this point, and nothing from what I have seen over the first 7 races of this season has changed my mind in terms of this series is always highly competitive. It's a very nice mix of ovals, street courses, and road courses, and these guys aren't afraid to lay the horn on each other and get physical and get rugged when it's required. And you still got, guys like Kerry Mix and Mark Dilley and DJ Kennington, the crew that we worked with initially back, way back when in the formative years, to some of the new guys like Andrew Ranger, who we know from the IndyCar side, and, and Dumoulin, a few of the others, and Hathaway, who certainly matured very nicely in the series. Always predictably very competitive, Bryce, always very rugged, and it doesn't seem to matter what season it is. Nothing has really surprised me, at least in that regard.
And speaking about drivers, we see some drivers like Scott Steckley, DJ Kennington, who usually do good, haven't been as good this season. Some guys like LP Dumoulin, J.R. Fitzpatrick near the top. What are your predictions for drivers to watch as the season edges to a close?
Well, I think, Steckley has won so many championships, that this guy is, is one of these guys who is a little bit like he hides a little bit, and then, he ranks 5th in points with 5 top 10s, and he got that win at Autodrome St. Eustache, so even though he may not amass his wins, the guy's won the championship so many times, never too far from the handle in terms of getting another one. He may surprise you. The other one is DJ Kennington. Yeah, a bit of a surprise that he hasn't had the season that we predicted he might. He's 6th in the points. Best result of 5th in both the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park opener and at Edmonton with the championship in 2010, 2012. He's the Iron Man. He's a streak of 57 consecutive races, DJ, without a DNF. So as long as he's there and he's finishing, the old adage is to finish first, you have to first finish. These guys may not have had the best season so far, but their pedigree certainly and their record would indicate that you'd never take your eyes off these guys because just when you think they're struggling, they're going to come by and bite you and win one. And Steckley and DJ certainly have enough experience to allow that to happen again. So yeah, a little bit of a stutter start for these guys, but I predict as we hit now into Riverside, Nova Scotia, as you and I are talking, Bryce, it's going to be those guys. You never take your eyes off them because they're going to surprise you and probably jump in there and grab a win or maybe two before it's all done.
We'll see if they can make a run for the championship, but I don't know if they can from that far back. Is there any one driver who you have your eye on, who you think will win the championship?
Well, Dumoulin leading the points, and LP, has had himself a pretty good season. I mean, he was the Rookie of the Year in 2011, leads the championship standings with, top 5 finishes in all 7 races, so that's pretty consistent. Got the oval win at Auto Clearing Speedway in Saskatoon, and of course he won Trois Rivières, a guy who's really coming on in the WeatherTech Delamar Dodge. So yeah, he's looking very, very strong. You got Tagliani in that mix as well, and Zadinsky from the Edmonton area subbing for Tag when he's not in that race car. So those guys are got to be looked at. Looking at a guy like Fitzpatrick who could jump in there. But I mentioned Hathaway, 4th in points this year. Is he too far back? I don't know. But all 4 of his career wins have come on ovals, including 3 of his last 7 as they go into Riverside, and he's the defending Riverside winner. So this is a guy who we have watched come up through the ranks and mature very, very nicely, and he's a guy who usually makes a lot of noise before it's all done. When it comes to the Quebec contingent, you can't take your eyes off of Andrew Ranger either in the Mopar Exide Dodge. So he's 3rd in points, couple of wins, 5 top 10s, and of course they got the victory at Edmonton. So those are some names to watch in terms of what may happen. And then of course you got the old guard in there with Dilly and that crew who can surprise you as well. So I mean, that's one thing about what's good about the series, Bryce, is the fact that it's very deep. I mean, it's not just top heavy with guys. There are guys sprinkled throughout this running lineup who could really surprise you. I mean, we just mentioned a few of them there, and whenever you least expect it, they're going to jump in and make it interesting. But it's going to be interesting going into Riverside because the place is so tiny and so tight. But it's one of those classic oval battles that we're looking forward to.
For more from my interview with Erik Tomas, tune into the next NASCAR 5 Canadian Tire Series edition. That is all for the Riverside pre-race show. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check back with my YouTube channel for post-race coverage on Sunday. To be alerted when the post-race show is online and to receive updates from practice and qualifying, be sure to follow NASCAR 5 on Twitter at NASCAR 5. You can also follow myself on Twitter at BryceT24. Once again, thanks for watching NASCAR 5 NCATS edition. I'm Bryce Turner. Enjoy the race.